What's up, all my Ewok triples and droids? It's Anna, also known as that Star Wars girl, and today I am going to be talking about Ahsoka Tano because Disney just announced that they cast Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano for the Mandalorian Season 2 to do a few cameos here and there as the character. Now, a lot of people are excited about this. I personally have thought that she was perfect for the part ever since I watched the Clone Wars because her and Ahsoka look a lot alike. You know, they have very similar facial features. Rosario Dawson, you know, she's got the big lips and like the ginormous eyes, just like Ahsoka. And right now she is actually, I know a lot of people were complaining about this, about how, oh, well, she's too old now. Actually, Ahsoka would be in her 40s during the time period that The Mandalorian is taking place in. So Rosario Dawson is actually, 40 currently. So she's actually the right age to be playing Ahsoka, which I think is great. A lot of times, studios will cast younger actresses to play somebody maybe that's in, their 30s to play a 40-year-old, or sometimes, a 40-year-old to play a 60-year-old, and they always try to, age down. So I think it's great that they're actually getting a woman that is, the exact age of the character. I also think that it's an appropriate time to bring her in to the show since they just introduced the Darksaber. I know a lot of people were confused because they hadn't watched Rebels, so they didn't know what the Darksaber was when it was introduced in The Mandalorian, which I think that was, and I've done nothing to hide how I feel about The Mandalorian. I am not a fan of the writing of the show. I think that it is very, very amateur. I saw better stuff come out of, student work when I was in college than, heck, even high school work, than what I was seeing on The Mandalorian. The writing is just absolute garbage. That being said, the characters look cool. Everything looks cool. I love Baby Yoda. He's so cute. I just want to hold him. And baby, he's so cute. And I'm going to buy all the merchandise for it. I'm already going to start working on a painting of Baby Yoda. Oh my god, that was the best thing ever. And I know people hate him because it breaks lore and all that. I don't fucking care. I don't. He's a Yoda species, the unidentified species. Maybe they got magic fucking force powers. I don't know. I don't care. He's fucking cute. People that say he's a Mary Sue, no, he's fucking not. Just because he's a baby doesn't mean that there are kids that are born with extraordinary abilities, especially coming from Yoda species, considering the only two Yodas that we've ever seen in a movie was Yoda and Yaddle, and guess what? They were on the fucking Jedi Council. And then you got the one Yoda character whose name I'm blanking from, KOTOR. Every single Yoda species character I have seen has been a Jedi Master. So maybe it's just a species that is so connected with the Force since they're young. And I mean, you can even look at the symmetry between characters in Star Trek. Deanna Troi, she's half Beta Z, and so Beta Z, when they're children, they start acquiring their telepathic abilities, except for, the rare occasion when a child is born with the thing and then it messes them up. But I think considering he's 50 years old and this species ages quite slowly, and then there's the whole theory that Baby Yoda is a clone of Yoda and all of that stuff, you know what? I'm willing to expend my believability on this because it's baby freaking Yoda. Everything we know about Yoda is that they're super freaking powerful. They're not like humans. Aliens are different than humans. I can expand my belief for that. But aside from that, not much about the show I like. The whole Mandalorians can't take off their helmet. When the hell did that ever exist? Never. Heck, when you play KOTOR and it's all about the Mandalorian Wars, none of them are wearing helmets. When you watch the Clone Wars and you learn all about Mandalore, they wear their helmets, but guess what? They take them off. When you're freaking even in Rebels, Sabine is always taking off her helmet and changing up her hair and everything. The whole, you can't wear your mask. That was the stupidest thing. I get it, so it's so that way they don't have to have Pedro Pascal always being there, because I guess when they filmed episode 4 with the one that Bryce Dallas Howard recorded, he wasn't even there. So it's like, all right, well, I guess. And I know that I won't spoil it, but they did the thing with the thing, and people got mad about the thing with the thing that happened with the thing and the thing and the so it is what it is. I just think it needs better writers. And Dave Filoni, you know, my favorite episodes of the Clone Wars were not the ones Dave Filoni wrote. Katie Lucas is fantastic. She is a fantastic writer. You know, she's George Lucas's freaking daughter. She knows her shit. My favorite episodes of the Clone Wars were written by Katie Lucas. Bring Katie Lucas in to write The Mandalorian. I'm going to tell you right there, it's going to get 1,000 times better. So this show, it has potential, but right now, it's fine to be a creative mind and to be able to create characters and worlds and, you know, the ideas. And that's kind of, you know, what concept artists do. You know, you sit there and like, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. And I feel like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, they're yes men. They're like, yes, let's do that. That sounds like a great idea. And that, you know, they just vibe off of one another, but you need to bring in somebody that knows how to connect all the pieces. So I think if they brought Katie Lucas in to write, it would just elevate the show and, you know, take it to infinity and beyond. I really think that that's what they need to do, because they have all the elements, they have all of the ingredients, and it's, you know, the difference between, you know, somebody that's just got a recipe up on their phone on Google and, you know, a world-renowned chef. You get, you know, I'm going to tell you right now, I know exactly which one of them is going to make the food taste better, even given all the same ingredients. So I think that they just are, you know, they're their own worst enemies at this point. But like I said, the show has potential. Now, I like the casting of Rosario Dawson. Like I said, I think she looks exactly like Ahsoka would at this age. I know that they changed up her features in Rebels, but they also, if you look at the difference between Yoda in Rebels as compared to Clone Wars, I personally prefer the Clone Wars style to Rebels. I think they were saving on budget for Rebels as far as the animation, because the animation was good. The 3D models weren't very good. I didn't like that style. So if they revert back to the way that the Clone Wars looked, and then they just show what Ahsoka would look like, you know, in a live action, I think that she'd be perfect with the role. People, of course, are throwing tantrums about it, and everything that I looked into and that I saw on Twitter of that, I guess allegedly, so Rosario Dawson was dating a man who was in the running for, you know, I guess he was running for the presidency, and just conveniently this person came out and wanted to sue her and her family because of issues with her misgendering and using a dead name, and then also, I guess, like physical assault and, you know, spitting, and something about where the person was living, and they didn't want that person to live there, and it was a thing with her and her family, and it was this big incident. There's no evidence. There's just all of these allegations. So that's why I don't really want to put too much focus on it, because until I see hardcore evidence, until I see, you know, a court proceedings, it's kind of like, you know, with everything that happened with Vic Mignogna, and, you know, everything with the Weeb Wars and how he got accused of this, and then I was watching all the Nick Rekieta streams where they're going through the depositions. It's like, there's no evidence. If you don't have evidence, it's innocent until proven guilty. You need to prove that this person did it. Going on Twitter and starting a Twitter war and trying to cancel a person over allegations with nothing to back it up, it doesn't, you know, you're asking me to trust you and your word. It's like, it's not like you're my father coming to me, you know, telling me, hey, you know, this happened and I have to trust this person. It's like, there's a very big difference with a bunch of strangers on the internet that are just spewing hate and not providing any evidence than somebody that I would trust. I have not seen anything from a reliable source on if this is true or not. Now, you know, maybe as stuff comes out in the future, that's, you know, up in the air, but as of right now, there's no evidence to support this. There's no, like I said, there's no court hearings. There's nothing. There's just allegations. So I don't even really want to talk about it, because there's nothing really to talk about except people got mad on Twitter and threw a temper tantrum because they don't want her to be Ahsoka. Now, if you want, it's like, all right, okay, allegations, you don't want it. Cool, I don't know who the hell you are. Go back into your Twitter hole. Then there's other people that actually have, I think, a more valid complaints about it, that they wanted Ashley Eckstein to be Ahsoka in a live action, you know, in a live action role, because Ashley Eckstein is the voice of Ahsoka. She has cosplayed as Ahsoka. Now, I've never seen Ashley Eckstein act. I hear that she's a very lovely person. But again, there's a very big difference between voice acting and physical acting, I think, in this sense. I loved watching Rosario Dawson in every movie that she's been in, like Rent. I loved Rent. I watched that with my sisters. That was the first movie I ever saw her in, and then, that's just the one that sticks out in my head is, when you just connect an actor with a role that they played, and, it's that standout role. I loved her as Mimi in Rent, and so it has a very dear place in my heart, so I would love to see her play Ahsoka. I think that she's very good at what she does. She looks like the character. She's the same height as the character, because that's one of Ahsoka's characteristics, is that she's really short. She's really little. And so, her being Anakin's apprentice, and Anakin's a big old dude, because he is Vader. Vader is a big dude. So even when you have, the action figures, like Ahsoka's like this big and Anakin's like this big, if I had him, but they're over there somewhere. But I'm really happy with the casting. I think that bringing her in season 2 just for a few cameos, especially since the dark saber has reemerged, we got Baby Yoda in the mix, and Ahsoka's first appearance was in the Clone Wars movie, where they have to go save, the little baby Jabba the Hutt. So I think that would be kind of, a nice crossover, that the first time you see her in Star Wars at all is her on a mission to save a baby, and then in The Mandalorian as well, her coming in and her, having to save a baby. I think that'd be cute. It'd be like it's like what's her first mission? Animation saving a baby, live action saving a baby. I think it's cute. I think it's a great idea, and I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited to see her. And to all of the haters, guess what? I'm sorry. I think she's amazing. It's innocent until proven guilty. Show me the evidence if you want me to take you seriously. And I can't wait to paint her. I cannot wait. You can kind of see my paintings behind me. I'm a professional artist. I love to paint. Portraiture is my specialty, and I cannot wait to paint Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. I cannot wait to see what the costume looks like, to hear, what Ahsoka, everything that she was doing, why she wasn't there to help out Luke, and, if she felt Obi-Wan's death, if she felt Yoda's death, and I'm just really excited. So I'm optimistic, and again, this is a show that I don't necessarily like very much, because the writing is terrible. So for those people that want to say, oh, Anna, you're always so negative, I'm actually really excited about this. So, and again, this is a show that I don't really like. This is a show that my only investment is at baby. I really hope it gets better. I really do, because right now, a lot of people have been asking me to make videos on it. It's just, how many times can you say the writing is terrible, get a better writer? It just, I don't want to beat a dead horse. Call up Katie Lucas. I'm sure she'd love to do it. She can come work with Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, work on a live-action Star Wars, and, since she was doing the animation, the ones that she did for the animated, the Clone Wars were so good. My favorite Clone War episodes were written by her, and they were the ones that I was surprised that this is a kid's show, because of the level of intensity, I think is the right word for how she was able to do that, but still make it appropriate for all ages. She is a very, very talented woman, and I'm pretty sure George is so proud of his daughter for everything that she could do. And please, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, take it for the team and hire her. You guys can go work on something else, or go create more Mando lore, go create more characters and come up with these ideas, and write a bunch of post-its, or make a list and give it to her and have her put it all together. Please do that. It would make you have a mediocre show, and you really could take it over the top and make it something great, something that will change the world, something that will basically bind, the bridges and fill in the gaps from everything that Disney has done to Star Wars. I think in these hands, it could be something great. I don't know if they've, X'd her because of who her father is, but I would love for her to come and write for The Mandalorian, because everyone knows they freaking need it. The writing is terrible. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about Rosario Dawson being cast as Ahsoka. Thank goodness it's not Brie Larson. If you haven't yet, go check out my video about how Brie Larson wants to be Mara Jade, and how there's rumors that Kevin Feige is eyeing Brie Larson for Mara Jade. it's terrible. I'm glad she's away from Ahsoka, but then guess what? Now they're after another one of the characters. And it pains me to say this, but I'm glad that Jaina is not there for them to have Brie get her grimy little paws into. Stay the hell away from Ahsoka. Ahsoka's safe, but now we got to protect Mara Jade. So if you haven't yet, go check out my video. And everyone, if you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, that's okay too. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click the little bell. That way you get notifications when I do other videos and live streams. Make sure that it's also set to all. That way you will get my notifications, because if it's not set to all, you're not going to get anything. And YouTube has been a very big stickler about that. If you haven't been getting notifications for my live streams, YouTube has kind of ghosted my channel, so you have to mandatory go and check on the channel to see if I'm streaming or not, because it doesn't show in the little notification bar on YouTube when I'm streaming, which is very infuriating, but what you're gonna do. So everyone, with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and may the Force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye everyone.